6 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Daman Zaman. The headlines: policy rate by 100 basis points to 12%. The Prime Minister says reduction in the policy rate will help boost investors' confidence in the country's economy. The Interior Minister has expressed confidence that Pakistan-United States relations will further strengthen in the coming days. In the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, 31st martyrdom anniversary of Kupwara massacre is being observed today. The Arab League says stability and peace in the Middle East will only be achieved after settling the Palestine issue. The West Indies beat Pakistan by 120 runs in the second cricket test match in Multan today, levelling the series 1-1. And now the news in detail. The State Bank of Pakistan has cut the policy rate by 100 basis points to 12%. The decision was made during the meeting of the Monetary Policy Committee in Karachi today. The new rate will be effective from tomorrow. The Prime Minister Mohammad Shahbaz Sharif has said 1% reduction in the policy rate by the State Bank of Pakistan will help boost the investors' confidence in the country's economy. In a statement, he termed the policy rate reduction to 12% as a welcome move for the economy and expressed the hope that it will pave the way for increase in investment. The Prime Minister said the policy rate has been reduced due to the low inflation rate. He expressed his optimism that the inflation will further decrease in the coming months. He also lauded the efforts of the Finance Minister and other relevant departments for the revival of the national economy. Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif has directed to further strengthen the legal framework to combat human trafficking. Chairing the first meeting of the task force formed to curb human trafficking in Islamabad today, he asked the Ministry of Interior and the Ministry of Law and Justice to cooperate in enhancing the legal framework. He said the implementation of the Federal Prosecution Act 2023 should be expedited. The Prime Minister instructed the Federal Investigation Agency to provide the Ministry of Foreign Affairs with the information gathered during investigations to facilitate the swift extradition of human traffickers. He emphasized that complete eradication of human trafficking can only be achieved through the collective efforts and cooperation of all the institutions. Regarding the tragic incident of a boat sinking in Morocco, the Prime Minister confirmed that 27 human traffickers have been identified and 5 have been arrested. The President Asif Ali Zardari and the Prime Minister Mohammad Shahbaz Sharif have felicitated Alexander Lukashenko on his election for the 7th term as the President of Belarus. In the separate messages, they conveyed the best wishes for the continued success of President Alexander Lukashenko and the well-being of the people of Belarus. They expressed the hope that under his leadership, bilateral cooperation between Pakistan and Belarus will be further strengthened and both the countries will keep working together for the stronger bilateral ties. The Interior Minister Mohsin Naqvi has expressed the confidence that Pakistan-United States relations will further strengthen in the coming days. Talking to a key member of the American Congress and its Finance Committee, Alexander Green, in Houston, he noted the improvement in bilateral relations. The Interior Minister apprised the congressman of terrorism and infiltration incidents originating from Afghanistan. Mohsin Naqvi commended Alexander Green's principled position on the Palestine issue. Congressman Alexander Green said he will soon visit Pakistan again. The Chairman Prime Minister's Youth Programme, Rana Mashood Ahmed Khan, says the government is determined to make the youth as partners in decision-making. Addressing a news conference in Islamabad today, he said members of the Prime Minister's Advisory Youth Council have been selected purely on merit basis. He said the government is enabling the youth to come forward and excel in different fields. The Chairman Prime Minister's Youth Programme announced that the country's first national youth employment policy will soon be introduced to address problems relating to the employment of the youth. Rana Mashood Ahmad Khan said the prudent policies of the government has changed the perception of Pakistan as investors in countries are expressing their keen interest in investing in Pakistan. Terming the hosting of the Commonwealth Asia Youth Summit as a distinction for Pakistan, he said the youth leaders and high-level delegates from 12 countries will participate in the summit. This is Radio Pakistan giving you the news. Pakistan has categorically rejected baseless and unfounded allegations to target Pakistan-China friendship. Responding to media speculations, the Foreign Office spokesperson Shafqat Ali Khan reaffirmed Pakistan's unwavering commitment to the foundational principle of the One China policy, saying this is a consistent cornerstone of Pakistan's foreign policy and remains unchanged. The spokesperson emphasized China is Pakistan's all-weather strategic partner. He said this relationship is characterized by mutual trust, shared values, support on issues of core concern, and a commitment to regional and global stability. Pakistan has condemned the attack on Saudi hospital in Sudan. In a statement, the Foreign Office spokesperson Shafqat Ali Khan said the attack leading to unfortunate deaths, reportedly of 70 people, clearly violates the international law and puts innocent civilians at grave risk. He said Pakistan extends its deepest sympathies to the victims and their families. The spokesperson said the attack underscores the urgent need for upholding the sanctity of healthcare facilities and adherence to the principles of international humanitarian law. He said Pakistan believes that the conflict can only be resolved through dialogue and diplomacy. The spokesperson also expressed Pakistan's full support for the unity, sovereignty and territorial integrity of Sudan. Shab-e-Miraj is being observed tonight with religious sanctity and fervour. The night is observed every year on the 27th of Rajabul Murajab to commemorate the great event when the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, ascended to the highest levels of heavens on a special journey to meet Allah the Almighty. The gift of daily 5 prayers was awarded during the night of Miraj. The believers will offer special prayers at mosques to seek the mercy and forgiveness of Allah the Almighty. The religious clerics will discuss the incident of Miraj and highlight its importance. In the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, the All Parties Hurriyat Conference has paid tribute to the 27 innocent Kashmiris on the 31st martyrdom anniversary of the gruesome Kupwara massacre. According to Kashmir Media Service, the massacre occurred as a retaliatory measure against the residents of Kupwara for observing a shutdown on the Indian Republic Day on January 26, 1994. The locals gathered at the martyrs' graveyard in Kupwara today to pay their respects and offer prayers for the victims and other Kashmiri martyrs. The All Parties Hurriyat Conference spokesman, Advocate Abdur Rashid Minhas, in a statement issued in Srinagar, expressed deep regret over the lack of accountability for the Indian troops involved in the massacre. He called on the international human rights organizations to play an active role in securing justice for the victims. The Sikh community held a protest in front of the Indian Embassy in Washington, D.C. on the occasion of India's Republic Day. The protesters chanted slogans for Khalistan. Holding flags, they asserted that the day is not far when Sikhs will get their separate homeland from India. Sikh leader Dr. Bakshish Singh, while chanting slogans in front of the Indian Embassy, called Modi a killer of Sikhs and other minorities. The Arab League has reaffirmed that stability and peace in the Middle East will only be achieved after settling the Palestine issue. In a statement, the Arab League said any attempts to displace the Palestinian people from their land are rejected as a violation of the international law. It described the forced displacement of people from their land as ethnic cleansing. More than 200,000 displaced people returned to North Gaza on foot after the crossing opened. The government estimates suggest people in Gaza City and the north need 135,000 tents and caravans as they return to the destroyed homes. And now cricket. The West Indies beat Pakistan by 120 runs in the second cricket test match in Multan today, levelling the series 1-all. The final scores: the West Indies 163 and 244 runs, Pakistan 154 and 133 runs. And finally, the weather report. Mainly cold and dry weather is expected in most parts of the country, while very cold conditions are likely in the hilly areas during the next 12 hours. And that is the end of this news bulletin. For more news and analyses, log on to our website radio.gov.pk, and you can also watch the live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.